In this video, you're about to watch real aviation incidents caught on camera. No reenactments, no movie edits, just the moment everything changes. In a plane crash, it can take only a few seconds for a normal flight to turn into a fight for control, and that's what makes these clips so intense. I'll guide you through what you're seeing, point out the key decisions and failures, and keep it clear and respectful. Watch closely because the smallest detail can explain the whole outcome. On December 9, 2024, a single-engine Cessna 177 made a controlled belly landing at Roberts Field in Redmond, Oregon after a landing gear extension failure, reported as a rear gear malfunction. The gear did not properly extend, so the pilot landed gear up. Reported damage afterward included a propeller strike and damage to the aircraft's underside skin. On December 22, 2022, a Cessna 150A suffered a loss of engine power shortly after departure near Santa Monica Municipal Airport in Santa Monica, California. The pilot attempted a forced landing on the beach near the Santa Monica Pier, but the landing gear hit shallow surf and the aircraft nosed over, fatally injuring the passenger while the pilot had minor injuries. The NTSB found the power loss was caused by oil starvation that led to failure of the #1 piston connecting rod bearing journal. On July 1, 2025, a small private plane made a forced landing in the Courtenay River Estuary beside the Courtenay Airpark in Courtenay, British Columbia, Canada, after it ran out of fuel. After refueling, an attempted takeoff from the beach ended in a nose-over crash when the aircraft hit bumps and failed to build enough airspeed, and no one was injured.
I hit the bump! Ow! Oh, shit!
Oh! I knew it.
Oh, no.
Is this plane crashing right now? We don't know. Wait, what just happened? Ah!
On July 29, 2023, a single-engine Bannertoll plane ditched into the Atlantic Ocean just offshore of Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, and the pilot made it out and was brought ashore by lifeguards with no injuries reported. The cause was not determined at the time of the initial reports, and the FAA and NTSB investigated the incident as the reason for the crash was listed as unknown.
It doesn't pop down last second or something.
On June 12, 2025, a small plane made a gear-up emergency landing at North Las Vegas Airport in North Las Vegas, Nevada, after the landing gear failed to deploy. LVMPD's AIR-5 helicopter visually confirmed the gear stayed fully retracted and relayed updates to the tower and the pilot, and the aircraft landed safely, with no injuries reported.
North Las Vegas Tower, County Mobile 2 on Charlie on the ramp, looking for down vehicles, requesting to enter disabled aircraft.
Tower 2 approved request up to runway 12 right full lane via Charlie.
Full lane, 12 right via Charlie, County Mobile 2, free company.
Floor 286, have emergency vehicles coming out to you now.
On March 9, 2025, a Beechcraft A-36TC Bonanza crashed near Lancaster Airport in Lititz, Pennsylvania, shortly after takeoff. The NTSB said the pilot became distracted when the cabin door opened, then failed to maintain adequate airspeed, leading to an aerodynamic stall at too low an altitude to recover. The airplane's overweight condition contributed by increasing stall speed and degrading handling. On February 9, 2026, a single-engine Hawker Beechcraft Bonanza made an emergency landing on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, Georgia, after it developed engine trouble and did not have enough power to reach an airport. The pilots put it down on the roadway, and the airplane struck 3 vehicles, leaving 2 people with minor injuries. On October 4, 2024, a Boeing Stearman E-75 crashed into trees shortly after takeoff from Bar VK Airport near Sanger, Texas. After lifting off from the 2,900-foot grass runway, it failed to establish a stable climb, settled back toward the ground, bounced, and then lost control into the trees. The NTSB determined the probable cause was the pilot's failure to maintain airplane control. On August 4, 2022, a Cessna 182C struck unmarked power lines on final approach to Holly Ridge Airport in Holly Ridge, North Carolina, flipped over and impacted the ground, and the pilot had minor injuries. The NTSB determined the crash was caused by the pilot failing to maintain clearance from the power lines on final approach. On April 28, 2017, An IAI 1124 Westwind, departing Philip S.W. Goldson International Airport in Belize for Tampa, diverted to Sarasota Bradenton International Airport in Florida, after the left main landing gear wheels separated during takeoff. The crew confirmed the problem with a low pass, and then landed with sparks and a runway slide, with all 4 people on board uninjured. On August 24, 2020, a Cessna 172M, operated by a student pilot, crashed at Toronto Buttonville Municipal Airport in Markham, Ontario, Canada, after landing on runway 33 and veering off the runway. The pilot added full power to try to take off again, but the airplane continued across the infield and struck a hangar, destroying the aircraft while the pilot escaped with only minor injuries. The stated cause was a loss of directional control after touchdown, followed by an unsuccessful attempted go-around. On July 18, 2015, during the Scaleria Air Challenge on Lake Wolfgangsee near St. Wolfgang im Salzkammergut, Austria, a Dornier Do 24 ATT was damaged during a planned touch-and-go water landing when it suddenly yawed into a sharp left water loop and came to an abrupt stop. The reported cause was impact with floating debris or an object in the water, which punctured the fuselage, and no injuries were reported.
Bravo, jetzt verpassen, du für das ganz klar. Yo! Das war hat das jetzt runtergehauen, ich habe es nicht geschaut.
Ja, der schnelle Kurven gemacht.
Ja, genau, das habe ich gemeint. Das habe ich gemeint.
Ja, das ist allerhöchste.
Das war Absicht.
Meinst du?
Ja, die macht das schon seit Jahren. Die sind da mit voller Geschwindigkeit rein und dann.
On September 21, 1964, the first North American XB-70A Valkyrie suffered a landing emergency at Edwards Air Force Base in California during its maiden flight after a landing gear warning forced the crew to keep the gear down and return early. On rollout, the left main gear wheels and brakes locked, the tires ruptured, and a brake fire started, so the cause was brake lockup, leading to tire blowout and fire. On July 12, 2021, a Tri-MG Intra-Asia Airlines Boeing 737-300 freighter had a hard landing at Paro International Airport in Bhutan during the approach to runway 33. The cause was an unstabilized approach that was continued despite automated warnings, including a bank angle alert and a GPWS sink rate pull-up warning shortly before touchdown, which led directly to the hard touchdown. On August 21, 2021, an Aero Sucre Boeing 737-200 freighter departed Mitu Fabio Alberto Leon Bentley Airport in Mitu, Colombia, then turned back and landed safely. The reason was an in-flight emergency after the main cargo door opened during departure, and no injuries were reported. On February 4, 2019, an aerobatic plane crashed into Lake Wolfgangsee between Strobel and St. Wolfgang near Salzburg, Austria, during a show flight. Witness video shows the aircraft touched the water surface during low-level maneuvering. The engine then quit, and the pilot was forced to ditch into the lake before being rescued.
Die ganze Zeit über den See geflogen, hat hier Kunstlooping gemacht und jetzt läuft er gerade mit seiner Maschine ab.
On April 21, 2022, a Cessna 182 flipped over while waiting to take off at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, Nevada. 2 people were on board and were checked at the scene, and early reports tied the upset to strong, gusty winds on the airfield, as the FAA and the NTSB opened an investigation.
3362, roll it out the Yankee, hold short on 19 left on Bravo.
Roll Yankee, shore 19 left on Bravo.
The other side, lead in 23.
Tower Spare Wings 906 with you.
Spirit 906, thanks. Hold short on 9 right will be your assigned runway. With 471, follow Delta ahead, cross runway 19, high long figure start wind 16022, gust 30, runway 19 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 19 right, fucking get back, that's 75.
On August 9, 2020, a Corvus Fusion crashed at Kudinovo Airfield in Kaluga Oblast, Russia, during a local flight, and the pilot was killed. Reports describe the cause as loss of control while attempting an aerobatic maneuver after a steep climb, leading to impact with the ground.